Hey everyone, Ray here. Today I'll be showcasing 5 HUD and UI mods for GTA San Andreas. So, I've been looking at a few GTA HUD mods recently, and I want to share what I thought were the more cooler and unique HUDs for this game. So in case if you don't know what a HUD is basically the heads-up display that you see in game. It's the information status that the game gives you, and UI is the user interface that you see anywhere else like in the menu and whatnot. So in case if you're bored of the same HUD and want to make changes to your game, here are 5 HUD and UI mods for GTA San Andreas. Before we get started, in case if you don't have a modded GTA or you have a clean GTA with no mods, I highly suggest you install San Andreas Essentials Pack by Junior DJJR. It includes all the essential fixes and mods you need to play GTA San Andreas in a modern PC. And with that out of the way, let's get started. The Classic HUD mod basically changes the HUD to look more like the HUDs from the other 3D GTA games like GTA 3 and Vice City. There are 5 different variations of this HUD, so technically it's 5 HUDs at once. The list contains GTA 3, Vice City, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, San Andreas version, and even a GTA Advanced version. But my preferred option is this custom San Andreas version because of its lore-friendly style. This HUD simply brings that nostalgia feeling for the old GTA games, and it's beautiful. Seeing your health and armor number go slower is much more intense than seeing a bar that slowly drains in my opinion. And keep in mind, you could choose other 5 different HUD styles that you prefer, so if you're looking for something new but also feels old at the same time, then this is the mod for you. The WD2 Interface is basically trying to bring Watch Dogs 2 HUD to GTA San Andreas, and I know for the most part it's not as accurate as Watch Dogs 2's HUD, but I like how simplistic and modern this HUD feels. It has its own Google Maps styled radar and a simple speedometer on the bottom left. This HUD is a simplistic novelty that I recommend you try. It's a new and a good modern style to bring to your San Andreas experience. It's the perfect HUD to go cruising around and causing chaos around San Fierro. The mobile HUD tries to bring back the HUD from the mobile version of GTA San Andreas. Even the UI, such as the menus, clothing selection, food selection, tattoo selection, car mod selection, and so on. And yeah, there's no visual look icon like the mobile version, but maybe in the future. And there's also another standalone version of the mobile HUD. It's the old version by DK22 Pack, but it just changes the HUD, not the UI, if you prefer it that way. This is perfect if you want to bring the mobile version of GTA San Andreas into your PC. As we all know, the mobile version of GTA San Andreas has problems. There is even a 90s atmosphere version, so it keeps the original HUD and only changes the menus and such. Overall, I like how well detailed and clean this HUD feels. Definitely one of my personal favorites. Try it if you like the feel of the modern lore-friendly style of it. The GTA 4 HUD has existed from 2009 as far as I know, but this version has been modernized. It even came with the camera angles from GTA 4 on foot and vehicles, but you can change it to the regular San Andreas camera angle if you don't like it. It's another simplistic HUD, with the health and armor bar around the radar, and you press tab to bring up your phone to look at the time, but you can't do anything with the phone. New features include new fonts on menus and subtitles, radar icons, a GPS system, a new radio station scroll, and interior and mission markers. Also, there's another version of the GTA 4 HUD. It's the lore-friendly San Andreas version. And as you know, I'm a total sucker for lore-friendly versions. This HUD is very simplistic and clean. The camera angles are a nice touch, and I know there are people that like GTA 4 that would like to get this mod. I also would like to throw in another HUD called the Minimalistic HUD. It's not bundled with the GTA 4 HUD and it's separate, but basically, this mod is based on the GTA 4 HUD itself, just retextured and all. So, this is my personal favorite HUD from the bunch. It has a thinner health and armor bar around the radar, and I like the way the map and icon looks, especially when you're driving. It makes it feel like a GPS. Everything has been simplified, even the time. This HUD also came with GTA 4 camera angle style, but I personally turned it off. I can't recommend this HUD more than enough. I suggest you give it a try. Before we get to number 1, I like to give an honorable mention to Sky UI. This is basically a UI mod, so it doesn't change how the HUD in-game looks. But basically, this is the UI from the PS2 version. This mod also requires the G input mod, even if you don't want to use a gamepad. If you're looking for the controller experience, this is the mod that you really should try out. It really gives you that nostalgia feeling as if you're playing on your PS2 like back in the day. Also, if you use a widescreen mod or install the Essentials pack, remember to set the widescreen support on skyui.ini to 0. Otherwise, the radar will look off-center like this. Combine this mod with SkyGFX and you're basically playing the PS2 version. It's how good this UI is. I don't know if you saw this coming or not, but here it is, the GTA 5 HUD. I already made 2 videos about this HUD, but let's do a recap anyways. There are 3 versions of the GTA 5 HUD I'd like to talk about. First one is the full GTA 5 HUD that also includes the UI, then the next gen GTA 5 and the old gen GTA 5. Let's talk about the next gen GTA 5 HUD mod first. This HUD changes how the HUD looks to how the current GTA 5 looks. It's clean and simple. The features such as the weapon wheel and the HUD GPS works. Even the radio wheel with what the current song is played on that radio station. And the phone that just shows the time by pressing numpad star, but you can change it to any keys if your keyboard doesn't have a numpad. See the readme file on the mod on how to do it. The old gen is pretty much the same thing as the next gen version, with different looks. It's just supposed to represent the PS3/Xbox 360 version of GTA 5. Enough said. And there's also a lore-friendly version, so you still want to get that San Andreas feel. And as for me, of course, I always use the lore-friendly version. And now, before we talk about the full GTA 5 HUD, just to remind you, the mod is still in its test version, meaning that probably the HUD is gonna be filled with bugs. And as for me, the newer version of the HUD just simply won't work on my GTA. So, if you want to install this mod and somehow the GTA won't launch with this mod installed, try to download and install the older versions of this mod. Now with that out of the way, let's talk about the full GTA 5 HUD. This mod changes the HUD and the UI looks entirely like GTA 5. And for an old game like San Andreas, it's really impressive. The features that I talked about is pretty much here, weapon wheel, the GPS radar, but there's no radio wheel, only this simple radio scroll, and it doesn't even show what song is currently being played. Yet, I hope. There's even a quick save feature, just like GTA 5. Pull out your phone with the middle mouse button and scroll to the quick save and save your game. It actually works, and it's a really cool feature. The last GTA 5 HUD doesn't come with its own custom radar and icon. This mod does, so you don't need to worry about installing a radar HUD and icon mod. Overall, out of all the HUD, I'm really impressed with the full GTA 5 HUD mod. The fact that it changes the entire UI just blew my mind, and this mod is still on its test version, meaning they're probably still working on it to be even better, and it hasn't been updated since March, which is a shame. So that is it, 5 HUDs and UI mods for GTA San Andreas. If you have made it this far, I want to give a big thank you cause we've reached 100 subscribers. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have much of the motivation to create this video. Which one of these HUDs is your favorite? And also let me know what kind of San Andreas mod you want me to showcase next in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Take care.